Hello friends, welcome to Learn English Today. You can learn English easier and faster with Learn English Today. So today we are going to have our first lesson from reading section intermediate level. So the reading passage is about for better grades use your brain. Good. So let's go. What are our objectives for this video? Uh, the first one is our reading skill. So today we're going to cover two most important reading skills, which are describing the process and taking notes. Okay, the next one is target words, what words we'll have in our today's passage. The next one, vocabulary skills, that we will cover word webs, what are word webs and how to create word webs and how they are important. And the next one, reading comprehension, so at the end of the reading passage, so how we can have a good comprehension from the text that we have read. Okay, let's go. What are the target words that today we are going to cover? The first word, so let's have a review. Academic. Academic, it means relating to schooling, learning or studies, something related to college or university. The next word, component. Component, it means part of something or fundamental. The next word is transfer. Transfer, it means relocation or move. The next word is long term. Long term, it means for a long period of time. Okay? The next word, structure. Structure, it means form. And effective. Effective, it means useful or sufficient. The next, make an effort, it means to try to do something. And the last word, technique. Technique, it means what? Method. So there are the words that today we will face in a reading passage. Okay? Let's go through the reading passage. For better grades, use your brain. If you're like most students, you probably started this new academic year with a resolution to study harder. Now, science can help you keep your resolution. Recent discoveries in brain research point to better ways to learn. How does the brain save new information? Think of the last time someone told you their phone number. Could you remember that number 5 minutes later? Probably not. That's because it was in your short-term memory. Our memory actually has three components. Sensory memory takes in information from our five senses and is stored for just a few seconds while our brain processes it. Short-term memory works like a holding area for new information. That's where you keep the phone number while you dial it. But if you can put the phone number into long-term memory, you will remember that same phone number next week. This part of your memory holds everything from irregular verbs to the names of all your cousins. When you study, you transfer new information into long-term memory. Every time we learn something new, the structure of the brain actually changes as we build new connections to information that we already know. When there are more connections to the new information, it is easier to find it again. Brain researchers have discovered 4 key points for effective study. Number 1, make an effort. The brain remembers better when we are interested in the subject, already know a little about it, and know we will need the information in the future. Number 2, find the most important information and organize it. Your brain can process only a limited amount of information at one time, so don't try to remember every detail. When studying a textbook, look for titles, headings, and illustrations to show you the main idea. Number 3, make the new brain connections stronger. One technique is to recite the ideas out loud in your own words. This is the most powerful way to transfer information from short-term to long-term memory. Another method is drawing a picture of the information to activate the visual part of the brain. Number 4, give the new material time to soak in. Your brain has to build new physical connections. For this reason, it is better to study for several short sessions than one long one, and cramming the night before a big test doesn't help. By understanding how the brain works and following these 4 tips, you can make this your most successful academic year ever. Okay, friends, let's practice note taking. Note taking, it is an essential technique that every active readers must have this skill. So I will put the reading below down, and you can just check that. Just there is somehow I take notes, so you can do it with your own and through the reading passage. Okay. For example, the first paragraph, so what important thing that I have noted there is recent discoveries in brain research point to better ways to learn. So it is just the most important one in the first paragraph that I mentioned. So we can say recent discoveries in brain research point to better ways to learn. So just maybe it is the main idea. So just the better ways to learn. What are that better ways? So, okay, the next paragraph, our memory has 3 components. So it is important one. Our memory has 3 components. What are that 3? Yeah, sensory memory. It means our 5 senses, and the information here just stored for just few seconds. So the key rule, or what I can say, the most important thing in note taking is that we have to write down the information as short as we can. So it should not be just like a complete sentence. We can just make it as short as it is possible. Okay, the next one, short-term memory. Short-term memory, it means what I can say, it is part of the memory, like what I can say, holding area for new information. Okay, the next one is long-term memory. Long-term memory holds everything like phone numbers, names of cousin, and other things. So the next paragraph is when study transfer new informations into long-term memory. So when we learn some things or when we study something, we try to transfer new informations to our long-term memory. And when we learn something new, our brain has now what you can say built some new changes that or maybe we can say new connections. Understood? The next paragraph, 4 key points for effective study. So just again, I'm telling you that it is note taking, just we are going to point out some important things. 4 key points for effective study. What are that? Number 1, make an effort. What does it mean make an effort? It means brain remembers better for those informations that we are interested in that subjects or informations that we will need in the future. So the next, number 2, find the most important info or information and organize. So don't remember every details. Okay. Number 3, make the new brain connections stronger. So here the writer what I can say 2 kind of techniques that we can make stronger these new connections. Okay, what are that? The first one is recite out loud. So recite it out with our own words. It is a very good technique. And another technique or another method is drawing a picture of information to activate our visual part of our brain. So it is very important. Number 4, give the new material time to soak in. It means study several short sessions than one long one. So we can put, or what I can say, we can study some new informations for several short sessions, not for one long one. So it is not too effective. It is somehow the note that I took from the passage, so you can have your own, but it is just an example. You can do the same or maybe shorter than this, so it belongs to your creativity. Okay, the other skill that we're going to talk is about describing a process. You know that some articles tell us how to do something. You can draw a diagram to help you understand things that are in a certain order. So diagrams, what you can say, there are some like visual objects that can, what I can say, signal some informations very easily, and our visual part of our mind can learn this kind of diagram or charts easily. What do you do? First, find the steps, then decide how best to arrange the steps in a diagram. Look at this. I just draw a diagram of today's passage. For example, our sensory memory, our short term, and our long term. So it is a diagram that shows three components, or what I can say, three parts of our brain: sensory memory, short term, and long term. So it is a diagram. It is very easy to remember. Or where what I can say, I draw another diagram. Look here, about that four key points. The first one is make an effort. Next, find the most important info or information. Next, make new connections stronger. And the last one is give the new material time to soak in. So it is another method that you can visualize. You can just put the information in a diagram to remember them faster and easier. Okay, reading comprehension. So let's just take a look to the questions and how to solve the questions after the reading and check our reading comprehension. Okay, reading comprehension. So part A, choose the correct answer for the following questions. Number one, which topic is not discussed in the passage? So first of all, when we are what I can say, answering the questions about a passage, let's drop out the wrong answers, and then finally we can have the right answer. So A, short and long-term memory. So here, look at the question. Which topic is not discussed in the passage? Not discussed. It's important. A, short and long-term memory. So it is discussed there. So then we can say it is wrong. B, how to study for tests better. It was the main idea somehow. So it is also incorrect. C, why some people are very smart. So we didn't face with a word like smart or people like these things. So we can say which one is not discussed? C. Yeah, C is correct. Number two, according to the passage, what does drawing a picture do? What does drawing a picture do? A, it puts informations into short-term memory. No, it is wrong. We didn't talk about this. And also, short-term memory, so when we want to learn something, we don't need to short-term memory. We need to the long-term. So it is incorrect. B, it shows people you are trying to learn. No, so we didn't face with this one. C, it makes the connections in the brain stronger. So we have studied, there was a technique that one of them was recite and the other one was drawing a picture. So it makes those connections stronger. Yeah, which one is correct? C. 3, which sentences is most likely to be true? Most likely to be true. A, reciting ideas out loud is better than drawing them. Okay, there were just two techniques. One was recite and the other one was drawing. Okay, but they didn't say that which one is, what I can say, better than other one. B, brain researchers understand short-term memory based. They didn't discuss about this one. C, it is better to have information in your long-term memory when doing a test. Yeah, exactly, C. So when we are going to have a test, it is better that all information should be in a long-term memory. Which one is correct? C. Very nice. So the other part, B, read the following sentences, check true or false. T for true and A for false. Number one, when we learn new facts, we save them in our long-term memory. Okay? Yeah, they're what? True. 2, you remember better if you start studying a long time before a test. You remember better if you start studying a long time before a test. Yeah, so the last paragraph we studied that it is better to have some, what I can say, several short sessions instead of a long one. This one is what? True. Our brains change physically when we learn new informations. So our brain, what I can say, change physically and make some new connections. Okay, yeah, true. Saying new information out loud is a good way to remember it. Exactly, true. 5. You don't have to memorize every small details to learn a subject. Exactly, it is also true. So it was just a reading comprehension, so how you deal with the questions. Okay, the next one, vocabulary skills. Uh, the skill that about the vocabulary today we're going to talk is word webs. You know, word webs, it means a group of words. One helpful strategy that you can use to memorize new vocabulary is to create a word web. So those words that they have a connection to each other. So what you can say in one category. So that one is called what? Word web. Look, like this example. For example, words that they are related to learning. Learning itself is one word. Remember, memorize, understand, practice. So all these words are used for learning something. So it is very easy to memorize these words. Learning, remember, memorize, understand, and practice. Very good. Thanks. It was our reading session, so I hope you learned something. For more videos, so you can check out our uh, next videos, and also you can go to our Facebook page, and for having these materials, so you can go to our Telegram group and you can have the materials. Thanks a lot. Have a good time.